Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Student Leadership Training. Today is our last session titled Financial Strategies. Thank you to all for joining all this week. Before introducing our guests, we want to jump a little bit into what you have to fulfill if you want to get the program certification. So let's jump right there. Okay, so what's basically NETS? Um, on next week, you will be notified via email if you have fulfilled the minimum criteria to get the certification. The first rule was to get a 80% assistant. For now, we only will follow a minimum of 5 sessions attended, including this one. So we will check the system from today, and we will send you all the information on next week. But there is an additional requirement. To receive the official certification from the student leadership training, you need not only to assist to these talks, you need to submit a group project. This group project was introduced in the first session. Is will be on a group of 3 to 4 people, and the groups will be organized by us. We will take into consideration that you are from different countries, and for the project, we want a different and a variety representation from different countries of Region 9. So, as I said, you will see the confirmation mail with the key, with the group assignment and all the information on a mail probably next week. To submit the project, you will have 1 month since today. So you will have the deadline until 8th of June 2025. Now let's jump about what does the final project consist of. So we are basically in a process to review and update the IEEE Student Branch Operational Manual. So the task is related to this. Each group will be assigned with one chapter of the model. And we want that to work and update that chapter. You can start like joining and discussing about what will be the best way to update it. You can see the version 3 in the follow slides, and we will evaluate your final submission and give you some feedback. The idea of this is that all these proposals will become the foundation for the new version of the MORE. The winners will be acknowledged by the contributions, and their names will be featured in the chapter that they worked on. That's like the main idea since working on it. Um, in this session, you have seen all like different benefits from IEEE and what you can do with your volunteering. So you are the best candidates to start working on this. We also want to see what the students think of the more it should be. So we want like to hear your voices, and that's basically our project for this edition. You can see this QR code where you can go to the actual more version 3, and you can start like thinking what you will or probably review and start bringing ideas to the version you will be working. We hope that you don't have to wait too much. Um, so that's basically all that is needed to get the final certification of the program. I hope that this has been clear to you. Um, in case there is any questions about that, we can discuss this at the end. We want now to introduce our lecturer. Okay, so let's jump back to this. Okay, so I want to introduce you to Ronnye Cabrera. Ronnye holds a master in business administration and a master in project management, and is an expert in lead management from Universidad Internacional de La Rioja. He is also an electronic and telecommunication engineer from the Universidad Técnica Particular de La Loja. He has worked as a radio frequency engineer and a project coordinator, and he currently serves as a process analyst and guest lecturer at Universidad Técnica Particular de La Loja. He is secretary of IEEE Region 9 and member of the IEEE Site Committee at the global level. Over past 10 years, he has participated in and lead at least 15 technological projects with a social impact. Thank you so much, Ronnye. Now the space is all yours.
Thank you. You can hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Ronnye Cabrera. Thank you to the Regional Student Activities Committee for the invitation to this session. I am I am pleased to welcome in this session where we explore the wide range of funding opportunities that IEEE offer data. Today we look at how this resource can support your ideas, your projects, and maybe the community, especially those related to education, technology, and social good. IEEE is more than just a professional network. It is a platform for empowering students, empowering professionals, volunteers through programs like, for example, Foundation, Touch for Good, EPICS, and other that you can access to grants, to funds that help the communities into real world solutions. Let's get started. How you can connect your goals, your plans in your student branch or your professional or student life with these strategic funds and opportunities. Let's begin by understanding what is important to learn about IEEE funding. IEEE offers, sorry, sorry, I have one problem. Okay. IEEE offers more than the networking, and they also play a key role in professional development, giving students, research, and professionals to grow our skills or abilities and expand our network. Sorry, I have a problem with my transitions. Uy, sorry. Okay. 1 second, please. Sorry for this issue. Okay, perfect. I share my screen again. Okay. And in addition, IEEE supports social and academic initiatives, funds activities such as conference, hackathons, scholarships, and other projects promoting the growth of all global technical community. And accessing these funds also mean access to strategic resources, for example, tools, mentorships, and international partnerships to ensure our growth. Finally, IEEE funded projects through we can gain visibility and recognition, opening doors to the new opportunities in another levels in IEEE. Not only in IEEE, maybe in our professional development. So learning how to access these resources is smart step to bringing your ideas in your professional life. I have, okay, I find the problem. Okay. The first fund opportunity is the rebate. The rebate. The rebate is a fund that a section, for example, receive an rebate for allocation made to IEEE organizational unit. For example, a section annual receive a rebate for $2,000 depend of the type of the members. For example, for each member, you receive $3. For each student, we can receive another value. We can receive another values. For example, there is another bonus. For example, a 10% bonus for submitting reports on time, and an extra for $200 in this if the section reports more than 10 activities. To receive these benefits is important. Submit the financial report by February, and the officer meeting reports by March. Now let's talk about the funding for IEEE student branch, the rebates for student branch. These rebates receive the student branch receive an annual financial allocation or rebates based on their membership size. If the branch has 50 or more members, the student branch receive $100. If the student branch has fewer than 50 members, the student branch receive $50. To qualify for this funding, the student branch must meet a few basic requirements. For example, maintain at least 10 active members per year, submit an annual activity plan, report to the branch officers, and document some events during the year in the tools. These rebates are a great way to fund local initiatives, workshops, meetings, for example, and make sure to report everything on time to maximize your funding. You can find detailed guidelines in this link. Now let's take a look at SPACs. SPACs, sorry. SPACs is a program designed to promote the professional awareness among IEEE student members. Is dedicated to IEEE members, student members. SPACs provide funding between 300 $500 to support events that help students prepare their transition into professional roles, especially moving from IEEE student to membership to young professional membership. To qualify for SPACs funding, your event should include, for example, topics about professional integrity, professional skills, engineering public, leadership, the practice of innovation, the art of communication, etc. Okay, and this event help the students, mainly the IEEE students members, not only to learn, but also build confidence and connection with professionals and other peers. It's a great opportunity to combine the technical knowledge with the personal growth. Same, also we can more information or information to apply in this link. Another fund is about the young professional funding. As a student branch, we can organize some events with young professional affinity groups in our section. There are three types of support depending on the purpose of your event. For example, the first, in your case, the student branch can apply with the young professional affinity group is the STEP funding. STEP is the Student Transition and Elevation Partnership funding. Provides up to $500, and these events are designed to help students transition to young professionals. In these events, we can introduce participants to IEEE membership and service and other topics related to professional development. Another funding for young professionals is the local activity funding, with a maximum grant of $750. This supports a locally events. Maybe can be technical or not technical, designed to engage the IEEE members. These activities can be in partnership with universities, NGOs, companies, government, etc. And the third funding is the meta funding, which offers up to $1,500. This supports the networking events that connect IEEE members within a shared region or local area. These events are often located with a large conference and help build new professional networking. In the bottom of the slide, you will see the funding cycles and the deadlines for submitting for your proposal. For example, the cycle 2 closes on the cycle 4 closes on July 15. All applications and other guidelines can be found in this link. Another fund is another funding opportunity is WIE, the Women in Engineering. There are two types of funds that you can apply: the startup fund and special fund. The startup fund provides up to $200 to support the initial activities of a new WIE affinity group in your section, in your student branch, etc. The special fund offering up to $400 to organizing the impactful events aligned with the WE mission. The application process is simple, includes these steps: plan the event, complete the funding budget and the request form, submit the petition in the funding portal, and prepare and send a post-event report. You can find more application forms and templates at in this link below the slide. Now let's take a look of the funding for opportunities about try engineering. It is a program that supports the pre-university STEM outreach for school children and pre-university students. For this fund provides to volunteers and groups support this type of activities. We have a deadline for application in this year to the past January 7. We can you can cover materials, supplies, and another fees to to directly support hands-on learning experience for kids, for children and girls. However, it's not cover travels, fees for honorarios, scholarships, and major expenses for administrative costs. We in the Try Engineering Fund, we have three levels of funding. The introductory level offers up to $500. The participation level offers up to $1,000, and the Inspire level offers up to $2,000. Please, you can maintain attention to the next cycle uh, for petitions to try engineering fund. In the is open usually to November, in November up to January the next year. EPICS in IEEE provides funding from $1,000 to $10,000 to support technology-based program projects that benefit the communities in the world. This fund connect the students in the college to with NGOs and schools and other local organizations with our student branch. The projects must involve at least one university with the student branch or community organization. The initiatives can address topics like, for example, the access and skill development, the environment sustainability, the educational and humanitarian service. EPICS don't just fund ideas. It builds EPICS supports, for example, builds the leadership, strengthens the communities, and gives the students the opportunity to apply their abilities, their skills in the real world. Is a very interesting fun. Foundation is the donor, the humanitarian donor for IEEE, and we have in foundation we have a fund for from $5,000 to $50,000. This foundation, IEEE Foundation provides the resource to sustain, to grow and promote social good projects, and a foundation funds a large portion of the IEEE's global programs. Foundation funds, for example, try engineering, we young professionals programs, foundation funding, for example, the sites, the IEEE site programs, the Tech for Good program, etc. But we can propose new initiatives for in this case, and there are two funding cycles per year. For example, the cycle one was open to January to April, and the cycle two runs from June to September in this year. You can visit this link and you see how you can propose a project to obtain this funding. Okay. IEEE Tech for Good offers the funding opportunities to support projects. These projects usually led by IEEE members in local areas to resolve problems related to sustainable development. In this year, for example, we have four categories, impact categories: the zero hunger, the clean water and sanitation, the clean energy and industry innovation and infrastructure. The deadline for this fund was open to March 31, and they provide funds between $1,000 and $10,000. The HTV events, the humanitarian technical board, this funding is designed to support conference, to support workshops that are aligned with the humanitarian technology strategic pillars. These programs allows IEEE organization units to apply for grants at different funding levels. For example, the platinum, gold, silver, bronze, from $500 to $10,000. These funds are typically used to co-organize or support high impact events or congress, for example, in your local area. To qualify the event, should include for example, the plenary session or workshops, and might also receive the support in the form of a complementary table or discounts in the registration fees. A requirement to apply to this fund is made the application at least 60 days before the event. You can find more information maybe in this link. Another opportunity funding is related to the Region 9 Voluntary Contribution Fund. It is a fund to support the IEEE activities in Latin America. It is a fund from IEEE Region 9. This fund is open to projects, to students mainly and young professionals, and other educational activities, especially with the clear walls and a really community impact. To apply interest groups, you must submit a project directly to the chair of the Council of Past Directors of the Region 9, in this case is Alberto Sanchez. One of the key advantage it is for this fund is don't have a deadline in this fund. We can apply in the year. Proposals are accepted in the to fund offers up to $7,000, and it is a great option for pilot programs, for pilot workshops to support your events. Before we conclude, it is sorry. We have to mention the IEEE new initiatives. This fund is supported by the New Initiatives Committee, the NIC committee, and this fund is designed to support the potential to new initiatives, service or products that will provide the significant benefit to members and the public or technical community in general. This fund can provide funds, for example, a startup for three different categories. For example, the startups less from $40,000 for 1 year. The innovation startup up level between $40,000 and $100,000 for 1 year, and the new initiatives for more than $100,000 for 3 years, for the projects for 3 years. Okay, sorry. It's important to mention that many societies, many chapters in IEEE offer often opportunities for us. For example, we have opportunities in MBS, Education Society, Communication Society, EDS, RAS, Antennas and Propagation Society, for example, and another unit organization in IEEE that offer opportunities. The invitation is that we develop in this website, for example, what opportunities we have to take advantage. These funds are typical supporting the technical projects in these areas, and educational grants, for example, or conference participation to a student. Depends of each society's area or focus, no? Before we close, it's very important to be aware of what IEEE funds generally do not support. For example, the most funding opportunities explicitly exclude the university or corporate research and development, venture capital for inventions, overhead or operating costs, and construction projects. These funds also do not support lobbying, for example, trade promotion, personal or business loans, or funding for a single beneficiary. In general, the scholarships to individuals and the extensive travel are also excluded. When you're planning your projects, make sure that your proposal stays within these guidelines to ensure the fund. And to close this presentation, I like to share a few practical tips that can make a big difference when you're applying a funding. For example, the first, take the time to understand the needs of your local organization, your student branch, your affinity group, for example, your section, etc., and identify which funding source are aligned with with your project. Then the second is important, build a network. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Third, please read the funders guidelines. This is very important because this make sure to submit a good proposal. Also make sure to submit a relevant and realistic budget. You can or you must present realistic budgets to justify the project. Remember to involve the key partners of mentors or your section chair or the student activities section chair, etc. Involve partners to your project. Make sure your project are aligned with the funding goals and plan ahead. Don't leave the submissions. Don't leave the postulation to the last day, to the last minute. It is typical, and the quality of the proposal can down in your in the probability to accept. And the most important is research. Take the time to live and be patient. Funding of time and funding takes a time, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, and funding. But the funding with the right preparation and the persistence, your idea can become in a reality. Your project, your workshop, your congress can become in a reality. It is all. Thank you for your attention. And if you have questions, yeah, I am here.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Um, Meanwhile, the public is uh, writing their question. We can start with this one that are for the team. Um, what are some creative or successful fundraising initiatives you have seen from student branches in Region 9?
Um, we have many initiatives in our region. Mainly, we can talk about the programs, for example, to 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 programs related to children, pre-university activities are very important in our region. For example, the EPICS programs, in our region, in Region 9, we have a good quality of EPIC programs. And also the Teach for Good or side projects are the referential in another zones of the world.
Thank you. I probably have seen, I remember some very unique one I see this year, and it was like a giveaway from the gift from your ex, something like that. Some student branch chapter was doing. and was really funny. But we can continue with the next one. This is most about the person that are in the role of treasurer. Um, what advice would you give to them uh, to be in touch and obtain funding in their student branches?
The first, the first advice is maybe prepare in your role. When you accept the role, the role of treasurer, you must know what are your responsibilities first. The second is involve or find mentorship, for example, in the treasure section, in the student activities committee section, or a student activities committee in the region 9, for example. You can find mentorship, you can find help for another situations. But it's important that we are aligned with the section. The section, when we receive a fund, the section is our fiscal agent. The section chair and the treasurer of the section are the fiscal agent to support the transfer funds and justify the good use of the funds.
Thank you. Now we can go for the first question of the public from Taisa. There is a minimal number of members in the student branches to ask for funding for an event.
Mm, no, no. Technically, for if you have an activity student branch, you must have at least 12 members of the 12 student members, but the minimal number of members can be 12. But because you need the student branch needs stay in good need to stay active.
Okay. And when this last one, but it's not a question, is to provide the slides. And yes, we will
Yes,
share
sure.
all these live from the speakers, so you can have them as reference for everything that you're gonna organize. That's something we will send to everyone that was in at least one session and was registered.
Perfect. Sure.
Okay. So since that's, if there is not any more question, we will give like 1 minute or so to you to write. Um, this is our basically our last session. So thank you all of you. I hope that you have time to fulfill the attendance form. If we don't have no more questions, then thank you all for being part of this final session of the IEEE Region 9 Student and Leadership Training Program. A heartfelt thank you to our amazing speaker, Ronnye. Uh, Thank you for sharing valuable insights and practical strategies for get funding between IEEE. We hope that today's session ignite fresh idea to our volunteers and members, and that you will continue your IEEE path and keep applying what you have learned across the program. So stay tuned for future training opportunities that we will have. See you soon, and remember to keep leading with purpose. Thank you so much, all. That's is our final session.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you, Jessica, Daniela, for the invitation.
Okay, bye.
Bye.